Hey, it's Francis Lamb, host of The Splendid Table. Every week on our show, we talk about food and cooking and the meanings of food and cooking. We talk with the most interesting people in food about their techniques, their culture, and everything in between. Whether it's about how fried chicken took over the world or how Instagram changes the way people are actually eating. It's a food show where everyone is welcome. Come join us. You can listen to The Splendid Table wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to Heritage Radio Network.
Since 2009, HRN podcasts have been exploring the wide world of food, beverage, and agriculture. Learn more at heritageradionetwork.org.
Westholme is working with the land to create nature-led Australian Wagyu. Westholme believes that when nature leads, flavor follows. Learn more at westholme.com.
We talk about food, we talk about music, with musical dudes. Finger on the pulse, snacky tunes.
Hello and welcome to Snacky Tunes. I'm your host, Darren Bresnitz. We are back in Brooklyn today for an all BK episode. First off, we're hanging out with chef and owner of multiple restaurants, Tomer Blechman. He talks to us about growing up in his grandma's kitchen, him building community through his restaurants, and what it means to juggle multiple operations, plus creating a place for families with kids to hang out and enjoy live music on Sunday evenings. And then we dip into the archives for one of our favorite soulful performances from Eli Paperboy Reed. If you have a chance, head to his Instagram page. He teases out his rendering of Sam Cooke's live at Harlem Square Club. I hope he releases it because what he has up there just isn't enough. And as we head into the summer, please consider supporting HRN. Please go there to make a donation, whatever you can afford. We really, really, really appreciate it. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy Snacky Tunes here on HRN.
Tell me what I want to hear. Tell me what I need to know. Tell me that you love me, dear, and you'll never, never let me go. 'Cause even if it isn't true, oh, I promise I'll be good to you. So tell me what I want to hear, oh yeah. Tell me what I need to know. I don't need to believe that look that's in your eye, 'cause you keep on telling me, darling, all those sweet, sweet lies. It doesn't matter, baby, if you mean what you say, 'cause I'll keep on loving you, baby, any old way. Tell me what I want to hear. Whoa, tell me what I need to know. Tell me that you love me, dear, and you'll never, never let me go. 'Cause even if it isn't true, oh, I promise I'll be good to you. So tell me what I want to hear, oh yeah. Tell me what I need to know. Hey! You know that I'm not blind. I just don't want to see all of these things, pretty baby, you've been doing to me. You know I can't love nobody else. So if you don't need me no more, keep it to yourself and tell me what I want to hear. Tell me what I need to know. Tell me that you love me, dear, and you'll never, never let me go. 'Cause even if it isn't true, Oh, I promise I'll be good to you. So tell me what I want to hear, oh yeah. Tell me what I need to know. Oh, tell me what I want to hear, oh yeah. Tell me what I need to know.
Tomer, welcome to Snacky Tunes. Thank you for taking the time. For a man who runs 3 restaurants, I appreciate you fitting us in.
Yeah, absolutely. It's my pleasure.
Yeah. You and I share similar backgrounds. Our love as a child comes from our cooking with our grandmothers and our mothers. What first drew you into the kitchen?
I think that I remember myself doing a lot of dough actually with my grandmother. Like she used to take us all in the kitchen, and it was me and my cousins, my sister, all running around in the kitchen. She would just like make a lot of, like rogalach and
Mm.
like bread and just like a lot of like flour and a lot of dough. And she was a great cook, and everything was around the kitchen. And I think that was my first sense of kind of like I want to belong to this like area of being together, because kitchen brings everyone together. That's the main. That's the main of the house. Everybody goes always to the kitchen. I think that was the main attraction. And then, after a while, it kind of like threw myself off, starting to do some sports and like also focusing on other things of the life. And I didn't really concentrate on the kitchen. I was more attracted to actually how to make myself better, how to heal myself. So I started to like study more for healing and shiatsu. But I think for the most part, my understanding of life is that everything that we put in our bodies, and food is the main thing that we put,
Sure,
affecting our health, affecting our mind, affecting everything that we do. So that was I wanted to concentrate on, is more of like the nutrition aspect, but also how to make food that I'm going to prepare in a restaurant be good for you and not full of butter, full of fat. And also like the environment that I'm going to create in the restaurant is going to be a healthy environment.
So what dishes in those early core memories of food do you remember as influencing that? What style did your grandmother cook in? I mean, obviously, rugula is more dessert side, but on the savory part of it, was it fresh vegetables? For people who maybe not familiar with the Israeli food scene and the markets, what do you remember of that time?
So Israel cuisine is salads.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
you eat for breakfast, you eat a tomato, cucumber, onion, parsley, tons of lemon juice, olive oil, this with a piece of bread and eggs. That's your breakfast. And then you have to drink the juices after like you finish the salad.
I love it. I mean,
so
all day. Yeah.
Yeah. So my dad used to do also like, you used to call it Lebanese salad. And he just like, he had a really like specific preparation of the salad. You first cut the tomatoes, and then you flat them. You put them on a plate, and not in a bowl. It's on a plate. You have to like stack it up. So tomatoes, then you cut the cucumbers, then the onions, then you put a little bit of dill, parsley. You just like cover everything with oil, lemon juice, and salt, and you let it rest for like 15 minutes in the fridge.
You have to let it rest. You have to let it come together. Yep.
Yeah. So then all the juices are coming together, and then you mix it. And it's always like my dad Lebanese salad is a staple for myself, and I do it every summer in Misada. We're doing an Israeli salad on the hummus, and that's the way that I teach my cooks. That's the way you have to build it. That's the way you have to rest it, and then you have to mix it.
And I'm working with decades of knowing how it should taste, so you got to come in and sort of match that flavor profile if you're going to cook with you, right?
Yeah, well, they have to. It's but you know what? The amount of salt that I put over in the salad, it's legit. It's legit. Like, it's there. Yeah,
it's there. So you're in Israel. You have family. You have food. You have everything. What brings you to New York? What brought you to the States?
So again, it's my dad. My dad and my mom, they split up. And then my dad moved to the States, and I used to visit him probably in my after like 18. I used to visit him every 6 months to the States until I got my green card. And then when I got my green card, I had to really like visit here all the time. So I had to decide, do I want to come every 6 months, or do I want to come here and get a citizenship
Sure.
and just get rid of it? So that's why I came here, basically. I came for my citizenship, and I never left since then.
And coming here, what did you notice about the difference of, let's say, American food? You can even just talk about the breakfast versus Israeli Middle Eastern food. What did you start to miss once you became you got your green card?
So I think that vegetables, like people, it's a lot of vegetables that you eat in Israel. And over here, salad is just greens.
Yeah.
You know?
Lettuce.
So, lettuce. And it is in Israel, that's not a salad. Salad is full of veggies, and there is no lettuce. And over here, it's our way. Just lettuce, sauce, dressing. So it's this, it's the eggs. It's just like a lot of like fresh stuff that in the States you use a little more dough and like peanut butter jelly. That's a breakfast that doesn't exist in Israel.
Yeah.
I think that pancakes are in a way are in Israel, but not when I was a kid. When I was a kid, there is like this cottage, which is I think there is cottages over here as well, just like kind of like a cheese.
Cottage cheese, yeah.
Cottage cheese.
Yeah, I grew up eating that, and farmer's cheese and things like that.
Yeah, farmer's cheese and the salad and the eggs. So I think that's kind of like what separates the cultures. But I would say also Israel breakfast. If you go to Yemen, like the Yemeni Israeli breakfast, and that's what I serve a lot in Misada, then you have a lot of fatty doughs, which is malawach, which is kind of like a lot of phyllo dough that is put on together, and you have to put in the oven. It has a lot of butter inside.
Yeah.
And jachlin is the same. And, we can go also to the Yemeni side, which has a lot of dough, and it's really common in Israel that you're going to eat it.
Yeah. So you're in the States and you've got your green card. What made you want to go to culinary school? What was bringing you into the restaurant scene as a profession?
So I came to the States with a lot of knowledge about healing and kind of like of all this like holistic way.
Okay, sure.
I wanted to continue that. I wanted to continue this path. I realized that my associate degree in Israel doesn't apply to the associate that's over here, so I had to choose another route. And I also knew that I really want to get on the ground. Like when I first came here, I was a little bit hippy dippy and kind of like, like with like my white shirt and just like long hair. So I really want to get in and get a ground. So I was like, like if I go in the kitchens,
they'll ground you.
That's the way to go.
Yeah.
So that's why, like I had a path, and I knew that this is my path and this is what I want to do. And I went to the Culinary Institute of America, and I felt like it's like a second army. I had to shave every day.
Yeah.
And my shoes, all my uniform had to be like all with no stains. So like every day you kind of like, like getting more and more into this is the new persona that I'm going to be. And you kind of like dedicating yourself in the, CIA. They consider themselves the best school in the world.
Yep. Yeah.
And, when you go there and you know that this is kind of like what you're going to be. Like if this is the best school, you're going to be going to the best restaurants that are there to offer like the best position, and you're going to be coming the best because this is what you started with. And I think that's kind of like the philosophy that I was going with, graduating from the CIA.
I mean, it's very hierarchical. It's very rooted in tradition. Were you able to bring in any of your background and your flavors to what, the cooking there is a lot of French tradition, a lot of European-centric type of cooking. How much were you able to bring your own style, or was the point for you just to learn what it would be like to work in a high-end American kitchen?
Yeah, I think there was no way to bring something new. Like, I think that over there and over in
Sure.
kitchens, you just say, yes, chef.
Yes,
And
chef. We chef. Yeah.
yeah, we chef. And that's the most important thing that you can do. Just like follow direction, be there for what needs to be done.
Sure.
And that's it. You have no opinion. You're like a robot. You need to do this? Yes, chef. Yes, chef. No problem, chef. Everything is okay, chef.
Yeah.
That's, and I think that's, as a young cook, if someone needs to learn something, this is what he needs to learn. No opinions.
Yeah. But then you go back to New York and you wind up in some pretty great New York restaurants. I loved every meal I had at Cook Shop, and you were at Gramercy Tavern. What was the culinary scene like that back then? Any stories, any moments that stick out to you of being in restaurants at that time?
Yeah. Gramercy Tavern was the first kind of like step for me in the kitchen.
Sure.
New York City. And Gramercy Tavern, I think it's an institute of, basically it's another school that you're going in. It's a lot of people that are, like you have a lot of people that has a lot of knowledge over there. And there's also people that are very green, that like I came. And over there is so much possibilities to learn. And also bring in what Danny Meyer's philosophy is about hospitality was really touching everything that I am today. So I think like the hospitality industry really needs someone that is like Danny Myers that really like brings some thought into this and like
Sure.
the front of the house and the back of the house. So for me, that was something that was really bringing a sense of communication and respect in between kitchen and front of the house. And also, kind of like learning step by step. And the people that I was there at GT at that time, I continued with them to Maialino. And these people in Maialino, I think that I remember like one of the best lines that I ever worked in New York City was in Maialino. It was Maialino after, I think I joined after like about 3 months after they were open. And that line that we had is one of the greatest chefs that, continuing to be still in New York City, and some of them moved to other kind of like states, but so much to learn, so much to do, so much to understand and like kind of like process and to grow. And also, the most important thing is like you're still in this USAG group that really hugging you all the time.
I love it. All right, let's take a quick musical break, and then we come back. I want to talk about you opening up your first restaurant, how you've brought live music into your spots, and about your new restaurant that you pretty much just opened this year. We have a song from the archives here on Stacky Tunes on HRN.
Darling, I was your safety home. There was no bed to call to make. I could have been, but you always want what you cannot have. You pushed me away just to beg for me back. No, 'cause you always want what you cannot have. You push me away just to beg for me back. And darling, I'm here for you. I could be here for you. We could be more than friends. There could be more to this. I could be. What do you always want? What do you cannot have? You push me away just to beg for me back. No, 'cause you always want what you cannot have. You push me away just to beg for me back. And darling, I could be here for you. We could be more than friends. There could be more to this. I could be.
Welcome back to Snacky Tunes. We are here with chef and owner of a growing Brooklyn empire, Tomer Blechman. And so you're cooking around the city. When did you start thinking about opening up your own spot? And what is the story you want to tell with it?
So I'm walking around the city, and like I mentioned before, the CIA,
Yep.
Culinary Institute, they kind of like they put it in your mind, like like when you went to classes over there, they ask you what is going to be a restaurant, what's going to be the dishes, what is going to be the name, and you kind of like like you create it over there, and then they planted something that every chef wants to open his own restaurant. At the end of the day, that's something that's why you're in the cooking, and that's why you work so hard. That at the end of the day, like you want to do something that's going to be your own. But it wasn't on my mind. I was striving to be better every day, to work hard every day. And it didn't matter to me how many, let's say, pastas. I used to do a lot of pastas.
Sure.
Work online and just like doing pastas. So it didn't matter to me how many frequent pastas I'm going to do. I'm just going to want to make better. So I think that after working so hard and after being especially at cook shop, that I really worked my ass off every day. I came there at like 11 and left at 1. And I think then I understood that if I worked that hard, I should probably work for myself.
You should probably get a piece. You should probably own it and create a legacy.
Yeah, or at least try to work for myself, because I already work hard, right?
Right.
So yeah, so it's time to search for something that I can do myself. And so I basically left everything. I didn't have a dime, but I decided that's what I want to do.
And you had the confidence. And you picked Fort Greene, which at the time was coming up as a Brooklyn neighborhood. I mean, it was established. I won't say that there wasn't spots there, but it's nothing like it is today. How did you pick that area? And was the goal to ultimately open up a neighborhood spot that could serve the community?
So I used to live in Fort Greene when I first moved to Brooklyn. So I used to live in Fort Greene, and my cousin that is my brother, he still lives here. So my best options that I had, I wanted to open either in Red Hook.
Shout out. Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily, I didn't find any place in Red Hook, because Red Hook is very seasonal.
It's very seasonal, and it's I spent a lot of time there, and it's just tough to get there. It's just tough to get walk-in traffic, or just to say, like, let's go to Fort Greene or Red Hook or walk around.
Right.
Yeah.
So, lucky enough, I was looking at one place that used to be Shea Oscars in the corner. I looked at that, and I was in negotiation about this place, and then it didn't work out. And then I found, by the day, it was Marta. That's the name of the restaurant that was before Miseda. And I think, Fort Greene, the community in Fort Greene, the way that people breathe food and like the culture, and very diverse, and something about this community is so hugging. And since we opened, it was just like, like a big hug. And also just like I didn't know what's going to be exactly the restaurant that I'm going to
Sure.
open. And I think the community really brought me the sense and changed, like the music and change the vibe. And if you're open to get what the community brings to you, everything is versatile and everything can change. And the restaurant was built by what came in.
It's
And
beautiful.
I think that Fort Greene has been amazing, and I think that Fort Greene is still amazing. It's just something about this neighborhood. People are talking to each other. People are very friendly. I lived in Carroll Gardens for a long time, and it's not like it's a little different.
Carl, if people are just on their own routine in Carroll Gardens, it is very much I have to get somewhere. I'm on my own journey. I'm doing my own thing. I think when you find the real pockets of Brooklyn that have that community, it's just something really special.
Yeah, and I'm
And
happy to be here for Fort Greene. Yeah.
yeah, and you opened up a sister spot to it, Neely, which is amazing because live music is a core part of its personality. Why add music? What has it brought to the community? What did you want to say with this second spot, this cafe?
So I used to live above Neely for 4 years. Yes.
Okay. So you're like, I don't want to go more than downstairs to hang out and get a good meal, right?
Basically, no. It was Mamapuku Milk Bar over there, and Mamapuku Milk Bar, it wasn't getting to a place that it needed to get.
Sure.
Mamapuku has a lot of great things, and then the pandemic hit, and they just closed before the pandemic, and I saw that they closed, and I talked to the landlord. Immediately, I got a spot. I think that the live music, what I got to do in Carroll Gardens is to bring people together, and that's what I want. I want to have people come and enjoy the music and kind of like like have the kids play together. We have a lot of families there. There's tons of families in Carroll Gardens.
Yeah.
The kids are actually like and they're interacting with each other, and then the parents are talking.
Yeah. Get the kids playing first, then the parents will talk, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then they drink a beer, and then they have fun. I think that's what I wanted to bring, the sense of community into Carroll Gardens. And that's something that I was missing when I was living there. And I wanted to bring it to this place, to this, it's a great location and there is so much potential over there. And to bring the jazz, and people kind of like now they're asking us every like spring and that it's Sunday. People are asking, they want to be there. They want to be a part of this. They want to connect with each other. They don't want to be in a bubble anymore.
No, and it's, you have kids, I have kids, you work a lot, and you just sometimes want something that's easy on a Sunday. You're out of the house, you get music, you feel like an adult, but the kids are also being taken care of. And it's a real community builder. It really adds to the neighborhood.
Yeah, it really, that's the purpose of the music at Neely. And Neely is becoming more of a free soul. I feel like I spend a lot of time in Misada and Teodora, and Neely can really go by itself. Like Neely is able to just like not run itself. I have a really talented chef and a really talented manager that they hold it.
That feels very much like an approach to a middle child, being like the older one and the younger one. The middle child is just out doing its own thing. And so you bring up Theodora, which is your new spot. And most people would say, I have my restaurant, I have my cafe, I'm good. Was a third spot starting to build this like mini empire always the plan, or did just the opportunity come up and you wanted a new challenge?
I was looking for open fireplace. I was looking to really accomplish my dream and get an open fire. So I was searching. I was always in the search of a place that I can accomplish my passion as a chef to create something with smoke. And I think that, what got me the inspiration was doing the event Pioneer Works. Pioneer Works do a supper club. They invited us, Misada, and I just saw that I put the same dishes that I have in Misada. I just put them on open flame, and all of a sudden they're different. and
Sure.
they're different in a good way.
Yeah. Texture, flavor. Yeah.
Yeah,
Everything. Yeah.
everything is a little better. And so since then, it was 2020, I was looking to do
Yeah.
if open flame and fire and really create something different. And I had also like a great relationship with home studios, and that's something that they also design nearly. And I always had the conversation with Oliver and to create something together. And so we took home studios with us to create this project, and then we got all the equipment and just created this space that I think is very detail oriented, very special, and we try to bring just a lot of flavors that are just good. It's not connected to just one region. It's connected to Mexico, Brazil, Israel,
Mm.
like the Caribbeans. Just something that you eat and you feel like maybe it takes you out of New York City for a second. Maybe you can enjoy a place and feel a little bit of relaxation that you're not in this town that is heavy in a way. Like you
Mm.
have like a really good conversation and feel like you're in a different space. And we are there to support it. All the staff and the food are there to support. When you dine with someone, you all of a sudden feel good and you feel like you can actually have a really nice conversation. So I think that's Theodora.
It's interesting because you talk about in your early days about the physical feeling and making the body healthy and things like this. And now it seems like you've added mental health and that well-being and the connectivity you get through community. Do you see that benefit, that health benefit coming through your restaurants of just creating a spot where people can mentally reset and connect with others?
So you know what I saw a lot in Misada, which is actually really makes me feel good. A lot of the servers in front of the house in Misada was their last job in the industry because all of them want to be something else. They all want to proceed and be, either learn a different profession or they already like decided to do something else. And I think like more than six probably servers that found their way, found their path in Misada and decided this is what they want to do.
Wow.
They never came back to the industry again. And, it was sad to see these people leave because they were really great, but it was making me happy that Misada kind of like went to a place that really like brought them to the truth of themselves.
Wow.
So I feel like, I feel proud of these people. Like, one became a lawyer. So it was, a big kind of like transformation, not only for myself, but people that are working for me and the community and the people that work there. But I feel they felt so comfortable in the space that they created for themselves that they can continue to do what they wanted to.
I mean, it's a beautiful thing. I mean, I have to imagine that people working in that space saw that you did the same with this restaurant, taking control of your life and creating this thing, and that's what they want to go do.
It was pretty amazing.
So you have two restaurants, a cafe, and the rumor is you're opening up a bakery. So what's the end goal for you? Like, what would you like to see? How many businesses do you want? Like, what are you trying to have them all say to each other when you finally have a bakery and maybe another restaurant or two?
I think the bakery is going to be kind of like a support for everything. So the bakery is going to be a support for Theodora. The bakery name is Thea, and it was made for Theodora. So a lot of the bread program that we have right now with Theodora is going to come from the bakery, and it has a lot of space that I can do a lot of kind of like commissary kitchen as well. So there is place downstairs that we can do a lot of work. There is a lot of storage area. So the bakery is kind of like a comfort zone that usually restaurants really struggle in New York of space.
Mm-hmm.
So the bakery kind of create the space that everybody's choking.
I love it.
There is no
Yeah.
space. There is no space.
And doing a bread program inside a restaurant is nuts.
It's crazy. Yes.
It's crazy. It's the fastest item to go and takes up the most space.
Yeah. So we're doing everything in Theodora now downstairs, and open the bakery creates space.
Yeah.
And also there is more storage that we can just like take a little bit of breathing from every other like kind of like space in Misada, and nearly there is no space at all. Nearly there is no basement. And so I think that's the main reason for the bakery. But also this community, on Saturday, you see Fort Greene, everybody's out of their house and they're looking to get something good back to their house. They're looking to go to the farmer's market and get some vegetables and fruits and whatever they want to for the weekend. And, not only on Saturday, but I think something like this bakery is missing over here. And
well, I love it. Just building community one spot at a time. Well, look, congratulations. If people want to check out the restaurants or make reservations or catch some live music, where can they go?
If they want to catch up live music, every Sunday at Nearly, it's usually starts at 5, live music with beers and, really, really great. And then, reservation-wise, you can always email info in Misada, info in Theodore, or go to Resi.
Awesome. Well, listen, thank you so much. Congratulations on everything. Thank you, Nicole and Amita, for helping to set this up. We have another song from the archives and then a live performance here on Snacky Tunes on HRN.
Whether you're a chef or just love going to restaurants, you know the best ingredients are everything, especially when it comes to beef. In Northern Australia, there's a different approach to raising high-quality beef. Westholme, based in Queensland and Northern Territory, is working with the land to create nature-led Australian Wagyu. Westholme stewards 16 million acres of rangeland, guided by their natural ecosystems. They're led by a belief that if they balance the needs of their cattle with the needs of the environment, both can thrive. West Home's team of rangelands experts and nature managers use a variety of tools to monitor and respond to the welfare of the environment, like satellites that address grass health and on-the-ground research. Cattle are happier when they have the freedom to forage and explore, so West Home ensures that they can roam wild, foraging at will for the first 2 to 3 years of their lives. Their cows graze on native grasses like Mitchell grass, which is only found in Australia, along with dozens of other plants, herbs, and seasonal legumes. The result is a high-quality Wagyu beef that reflects the terroir of Northern Australia and a flavor suited to complement any cuisine. West Home believes that when nature leads, flavor follows. Learn more at westhome.com.
Eli, Paperboy Reed, welcome to Snacky Tunes.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm very excited about it.
Yes, it's I was talking to Justin earlier when we were on the trainer here, which is probably why we got the wrong stuff. I was like, who should we have on the show that would make sense this first week back? And then I'm like, and I've got Soul Bowl with Eli Reed on Wednesday, but really, who could we have on the radio show? And I wish that someone had sat there to see the lightning bolt strike through my head. So Eli. That
was a great story, by the way.
Thank you. Hey, man, how are you want to do these transitions?
So, Eli, new album out. About to go back on the road.
Yes.
Talk to me how the new year is going so far.
Well, I'm excited. We got to take the month of December off, which is always fun. And then, really hitting the ground running for 2011. And sort of, the album came out, it was sort of like a soft release here in August. And now we're kind of picking it up with a brand new, start for 2011, which I'm excited to hit the road, in earnest. And we're going, doing a short U.S. tour, starting with the Soul Bowl on Wednesday at Brooklyn Bowl, and then in February we're doing this residency at the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas, which I'm very excited about, and doing some solo shows on the West Coast. I'm going to go to South by Southwest, head back to Europe, and maybe Australia in April. So a lot of stuff is really starting to happen, which is very exciting.
It's interesting. The Cosmopolitan, I keep hearing about the place, like the new, real rock and roll Vegas hotel. I think not that this rock and roll, but it was like something like Jay-Z and Radiohead or something like that for New Year's.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah. So
Were you there?
No, I wasn't there, but my manager was there and told me that it was nuts.
Oh, the text was like crazy. Jay-Z and Radiohead back to back. But we one of the things that I like about you is that you're from Boston, and I know we were talking about it before because Darren. Or Terry, as we call him on here, went to go visit this farm, and he's like, "Hey, yeah, I just took a 2-hour detour to Anna's Taqueria, and I brought you back a burrito."
So is
that really is it that much of commitment to that place that if you were in a certain radius, you'd be like, "Yeah, let's just dip back up in there"?
Well, in Boston, there's definitely burrito wars that go on.
Yeah,
in the burrito circles. But for those of people that don't care about such things, then Anna's Taqueria is the place to be.
What's the main competition?
I mean, there's El Pelon,
which burned down, but now I think that it's open again.
Suspect.
Yeah, exactly.
There was refried bean fire.
Everybody's like, the sour cream is not authentic, man. I'm just like, it tastes delicious.
Yeah, it tastes great.
Okay, so it's authentic, but it tastes terrible.
I will say this: if your main argument is authenticity in the Mexican Boston burrito war, you are on the wrong page.
Yeah, really, just gotta.
Oh yeah, it's that normal check. I went to school in the Northwest, and a million and one burrito places. Mm-hmm. So it's like authenticity really does come into play there. But there, it's like up to Mexico through Texas, and do I go left or do I go right?
Exactly.
And
most people go left.
Yeah, there's the Cosmic Canteen down near Kenmore.
There's a bunch of places. I haven't lived in Boston, and it'll be my 3-year anniversary as a Brooklynite next month. But it doesn't. I was going to Anna's Taqueria since it opened when I was 12. So
yeah,
I feel like I have an allegiance there.
I was there for their 15th anniversary.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're giving her free tacos.
Nice.
I mean, did you plan that?
It's not important.
It's not important. I was just there. When you're committed and dedicated to something that you love, you're just there.
So why don't we get you to play a song?
All right.
And then we will come back and talk about the song, and among other things. You are listening to Eli Paperboy Reed live on Snacky Tunes.
Are we going to do one from the new album that you guys didn't play? This is Name Calling. A long time ago, when we were in school, you used to laugh at me, call me a fool. How I dreamed of the day that you would change your tune. I never thought that day would come so soon. You went from name calling to calling my name. You went from schoolyard teasing to all night pleasing. Used to be so much trouble, now your love is double. Things will never be the same since you went from name calling to calling my name. Alright. It all started that day after summer vacation. I knew I had changed your heart said occasion. Oh, don't know what I did. Change your mind. Must have been something within you. All the time you went from name calling to calling my name. You went from school, not teasing, to all night pleasing. Used to be so much trouble. Now you're with me on the double. Things will never be the same since you went from name calling to calling my name. Now instead of fussing and fighting, we're making sweet romance and love letter writing. Like the old saying goes, and girl, you must take heed. I may not be what you want, but I'm what you need. In the past, we can build a love affair and make it last. Oh, 'cause sticks and stone might hurt me, words can't do no harm. Now instead of running from you, I'm running to your arms. You went from name calling to calling my name. You went from schoolyard teasing to all night pleasing. Used to be so much trouble, now you're with me on the double. Things will never be the same, never be the same. Never be the same. No more schoolyard games. Never be the same. Never be the same. So you went from name calling to calling my name.
Whoa.
All right.
First live performance of 2011. It's a barn burner.
I always love to know, most songs that we have in here are about like love, loss, and past relationship. Is it multiple people in the songs, or do you find like it's usually like one or two people that have been like giving you heartbreak over years, or is it imaginary?
It's either one or two people or it's imaginary. I think that it's like, I mean, either you're talking about something specific or you're talking about something that you're making up. For the most, at least for me, but those one or two experiences can be life altering.
Yeah, right. Like,
so they even inform your imaginary songs.
Fair enough. Was that about a real person or a fake person?
It was sort of about a real person.
That's pretty good.
Sort of.
Have you written any songs that have predicted relationships?
No. I don't think so.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Life is short.
Yeah.
So, the first time I actually heard about you was when I was spinning mostly soul music and culling through blogs like that. And I found Take My Love With You. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was an old song. There was no reference. It was just a song on blog. And then I realized that you were still playing. And in my mind, you're like, oh, here's some guy who's like now 65.
Right.
And then I realized that you were younger than I was. And then I was like, oh, well, we got to go see that guy. So how have you really, I guess, found that sound that really makes it sound, I mean, you sound more like the old school than someone like a Mayer Hawthorne. Like he does a lot more like, it's sort of soul, but it's also sort of like modern. You have a more classic sound.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's not like, not to put too fine a point on it, but I'm trying not to, I don't really spend a lot of time thinking about it. I mean, in a way, this is the music that I was raised on. I mean, I grew up listening to R&B and to gospel music, country music, and soul music especially. It was always around my house. It wasn't something like Mayer Hawthorne, for example, was a hip-hop kid and then became, a devotee of soul music, which is, and a lot of people come to it that way, which I think is awesome. But for me, if I came to soul music through the blues, and I was like listening to blues from very, very, very young age, and that was like I was always I like ballads and I like the deep stuff, So for me, I was never like into hip hop and then got into funk or whatever because of the break beats. I was like, give me, I'll play all ballads if I can. So it was really about the emotional quality of the singing and of the music for me more than it was about almost anything else. So like I didn't even care about the beats. I don't care about what I mean now I've sort of changed my approach a little bit, but for the most part it's really about the emotional impact of the music.
Are there any songs from your childhood that have made it into your set as covers, or that you just identify as just, you know, the end all be all of the music? I feel like the one
through my whole, you know, the band, the True Loves or whatever, has been playing. We started playing around Boston. I guess it was 2004, 2005, and I feel like we still play this one song called "I'm Tired of Wondering" by Robert Ward and the Ohio Untouchables, which is one of my favorite songs to play. I love it.
And what is it about that has like stayed through all the years?
I think it's like sort of a representation of. I mean, I love Robert Ward because he's a guitar player and wrote his songs on the guitar. You could tell that they're very kind of guitar-oriented soul songs. And those are the kind of stuff that I like him. Same with Don Covey was a big, you know, Bobby Womack are all guitarists who wrote songs. And even Sam Cooke was you know, wrote his songs on the guitar. And that kind of has this particular, you know, especially like all the songs that have this big 6 chord at the beginning, you know, I love that. That'll turn me on anytime.
Just like Cupid.
Exactly. You know, so I think that, you know, and Robert Ward, you know, he's probably my favorite guitarist. He's an amazing singer, you know, and very unacknowledged.
Would you mind performing it?
Whew, I don't know. Let's see. I could play. All right, I'll give it a shot. Let's see.
Live on Snacky Tunes.
Let's see. I haven't played this solo in a long time. We'll see how it comes out.
We're very forgiving here.
You ready?
Yep.
Let's move it closer. You can leave the plate. It sounds good. I'm tired of wondering. I'm so tired of wondering. Stayed up for days, ain't had no sleep, yeah, I'm tired. Yes, I am so tired of wondering. So I'm asking you to help me, baby. I need you, mama. You're driving me crazy. Slow me down. I'm gonna cry right now. I'm tired. Yes, I am so tired of wondering. Oh, yeah. I've been around the world to see what everybody was putting down. I made my last stop. Oh, you know I did. In St. Louis. Oh, that's when it came to me, baby. Oh, it hit me right now, my love. Oh, did you? Where my heart's at. So I'm asking you to help me, baby. Your mama, you're driving me crazy. Slow me down. I'm gonna cry right now. I'm tired. Yes, I am so tired of wondering. Yeah. Don't leave me, no. Woo!
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Sounds like you remember that one. So, you know, a lot of the tough thing about loving soul music is that so many of the people that you respect and would love to play with and collaborate with are no longer with us. But if you did have the opportunity to work with some of the people, who would it be?
Well, I actually think the amazing thing about soul music is that a lot of people are still with us, and I think
touche.
No, I mean, obviously,
your point.
No, but I mean, obviously, like, you know, people say it's like, oh, Sam Cooke is gone, Otis Redding is gone, all this stuff, but so many amazing people are sort of languishing, you know, and there's, you know, a great bunch of guys who run a night in Brooklyn called Dig Deeper, where they bring in all these, you know, under-recognized old soul singers, and the two of us actually have put on the first and second annual Brooklyn Soul Festivals with some of these artists. You know, I mean, one of them who I've gotten to work with 4 or 5 times now with Roscoe Robinson, and Roscoe has become a really good friend and mentor of mine. We speak, probably once every couple of weeks, every month or so, and he's really just been a very, very strong presence in my life as a singer and as a songwriter and just in general. I think soul music, all these kind of singers are children of the 40s for the most part. So that you see all these singers that they're in their mid 60s a lot of the time, and their grandparents, and they're living, a lot of them have moved back to the South from the northern cities and are just sort of languishing, and are so, when you call somebody like Barbara Lynn and say, I want you to come and play in front of 520 somethings in Brooklyn, and she's just like, I don't understand, right. and she does, and she plays and kills it, and it's just like, why are we not understanding that this is real? So I think a lot of that has to do with people not going past the surface of soul music, and because there were so many different regional variations and all this stuff, and all these people that they may have had one hit or two. I mean, Barbara Lynn had a number one R&B hit, and yet nobody really knows who she is at this point, which is, I think, a shame, and it gives somebody like me, I feel like, a task. I feel like I would be remiss if I didn't continue to work with these people and seek them out.
Do you find that it would, doing something like where you did a duet CD or something like that, like, is that something that could really help spread the knowledge of that more than just doing one festival or just collaborating with them as a one-off? I would love to do something. I mean, we did a duet with Barbara Lynn for the, KEXP in South by, I think. Mm-hmm. No, something like that. And it was on their CD, which is really cool. I think that more than anything, just to continue to play and to reach a younger audience, and through that, I think people have to sort of do the exploration on their own a little bit, and to find out the people that they like. But, any chance I get, I'm going to be talking about the people that I love and the people that have influenced me. The hard thing about it is it's very expensive to do shows like that, right. And to do, but for me, it's a labor of love, and I'm willing to do it, But I think as soul music continues to establish its presence in the mainstream, which I think is more than ever, it's continuing to do so, then those kind of things will continue to happen in earnest. I mean, look at R. Kelly's new single, "When a Woman Loves." Seriously. I mean, that is a straight up R&B classic. Again, if I'd heard, I mean,
even the whole aesthetic looks like Ray Charles on the cover.
Well, it's funny. I mean, R. Kelly, it's just like he went to high school on the south side of Chicago. He was immersed in that from a very young age. Right. So it's completely natural. He's just doing Jackie Wilson, like I'm sure he's been doing since he was 5 years old.
I mean, he's been doing that. He's just been singing about other things.
So I love, and I think it's a great song, and I think it's great to hear. And it's just sort of like,
and the whole part 1, part 2 thing that he does.
Yeah,
it's great. No, it's a total classic. With the backup singers and everything.
No, it's a beautiful record, and whatever the CeeLo track, that is, like on top 40 pop radio these days.
Yeah, and that's classic soul. I mean, that's the same thing, but again with a more modern influence. Do you see yourself borrowing some, now that you grew up in soul, but now that you're touring and you're seeing these things? I know you just put out this album, but do you see yourself sort of adapting or using other influences of modern music?
I think that I hope that this album, I mean, is more representative of kind of my own perspective as a songwriter. I wasn't setting out to make to remake some style, and I don't think that I am for the most part. I think that I'm sort of doing what I know how to do, and yes, I mean, I'm excited to continue to record and expound upon the style as much as I possibly can. But I mean, I think that. Since the Amy Winehouse Back to Black, there's been all this rumbling. It was like, oh, soul music is making a comeback. Soul music is going to be pop again. And that was 5 years ago now. Right. And it's just now really starting to happen. And I think it's like with the CeeLo being in top 40 and stuff like that. That's like, it's a big turning point.
Yeah, I think that the CeeLo and the R. Kelly thing is more than when they trucked out like Duffy because Amy Winehouse was a mess. It was like
sort of a joke. I mean, we actually toured with Duffy.
Sweet Girl.
Yeah, very nice. But it was clear that she wanted to be a pop singer and she was not a soul.
Yeah, and they were just like, oh wait, Amy Winehouse is in rehab, so you'll be doing soul music.
And look at the hooks. The rehab is no, 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 and Mercy is yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the same
Right.
hook.
Right.
But I think that people are, I'm not. I feel like you can't really be too conscious about style. You have to just kind of let it grow, and that's what I feel like if you look at Roll With You versus this new album, Come and Get It, I think stylistically they're quite different, and I think this one does lean more towards pop, just because I like poppy soul music, and I think that's cool, and I think that people are going to respond to that naturally. I don't necessarily think that it's because of like, hipsters getting into soul music. I feel like this is like with the CeeLo track and the R. Kelly track, this is more mainstream, like actually mainstream and not just hipster mainstream,
Right. So we got you playing Soul Bowl this Wednesday, Brooklyn Bowl.
That's right.
With the Del Reys and Spare Kid. Doors are at 6, show is at 8. You gotta let me give out the information.
Give the information.
Yeah. And you can
$10.
$10. Really great deal.
Fried chicken and bowling.
Fried chicken, but we'll be dropping classic soul hits throughout the night. And I know that we added on some special guest DJs.
Yeah.
And it's going to be great. It's a good one. One of the first big shows of the year.
I think so. I think it's going to be awesome. Brooklyn Bowl is a great venue.
We're Wednesday's finest. What can people expect from the live show? Who's never seen you before and the new show that's about to hit the road?
It's, we do probably about 70% stuff from the new album and some from the old album and a few surprises here and there, like kind of, blend some things together and extend some things out and add the flair for the dramatic that you need when you're playing soul music. So I think that people will just be, it's a really exciting show. And I think if you let yourself get swept up in it, people will really be excited about it.
Awesome. Well, Eli, Justin, thank you so much. Eli, we're going to have you take us out on one more song.
All right.
We'll do the whole thing. MySpace, Facebook.
Oh, that's right. So it's, EliPaperboyReed.com, one word, Facebook.com/Eli Paperboy Reed. I'm all over Facebook, Twitter. So if you write me a message, I will respond to you as long as it's not dirty.
Or the right kind of dirty?
Yeah, or the right kind of, whatever. Right. It's all good. And then, come and see us on Wednesday night. Well, actually, in addition to that, if you're beyond the New York area, on Friday night the 14th in Boston at the Middle East, and Saturday night in D.C. at the Rock and Roll Hotel, and Sunday night the 16th in Philadelphia at the North Star Bar. And all those dates are on the website, EliPaperboyReed.com.
Awesome. Well, I am Terry Diabolic of Finger on the Pulse.
Did you never forget a Finger on the Pulse?
Thank you so much to Roberta, Jack Inslee.
We have a pretty big announcement coming up in a few weeks. Very excited about.
Do we?
Do we? We do.
Have we not already talked about it?
We're going to officially announce it and talk about everything.
If you just go back and listen to the archives, which can all be found.
Well, don't tell people where they can tease.
Snacky Tunes on iTunes. Anyway, thank you so much. Happy New Year, everybody. Eli Reed, take us home.
Here we go.
Tell me what I want to hear. Tell me what I need to know. Tell me that you love me, dear, and you'll never, never let me go. 'Cause even if it isn't true, oh, I promise I'll be good to you. So tell me what I want to hear, oh yeah. Tell me what I need to know. I don't need to believe that look that's in your eyes. 'Cause you keep on telling me, darling, all those sweet, sweet lies. It doesn't matter, baby, if you mean what you say. 'Cause I'll keep on loving you, baby, in your way. Tell me what I want to hear. Whoa, tell me what I need to know. Tell me that you love me, dear, and you'll never, never let me go. 'Cause even if it isn't true, oh, I promise I'll be good to you. So tell me what I want to hear, oh yeah. Tell me what I need to know. Hey! Know that I'm not blind. I just don't want to see all of these things, pretty baby. You've been So if you don't need me no more, keep it to yourself and tell me what I wanna hear. Tell me what I need to know. Tell me that you love me, dear, and you'll never, never let me go. Cause even if it isn't true, oh, I promise I'll be good to you. So tell me what I wanna hear, oh yeah. Tell me what I need to know. Oh, tell me what I wanna hear, oh yeah. Tell me what I need to know.
We talk about food, we talk about music, with musical dudes. Finger on the pulse, snacky tunes.
Snacky Tunes is powered by Simplecast. Thanks for listening to Heritage Radio Network, food radio supported by you. Keep in touch at heritageradionetwork.org/
Craft cocktails, from the classics to zero-proof drinks, are all around us. But what if we told you that craft cocktails are actually a relatively recent addition to the culinary scene? My name is Toni Tipton-Martin, and I'm the editor-in-chief of Cook's Country at America's Test Kitchen. I want to introduce you to a podcast mini-series I'm hosting called 100 Proof, The Journey of the American Cocktail. Over 6 episodes, we'll look at how mixed drinks offer us a window into what was happening in America during the dawn of the cocktail. We'll then take you to the present day to contemplate what forces led to our modern cocktail renaissance. And along the way, we'll of course be sharing cocktail recipes with you. Subscribe to Proof from America's Test Kitchen so you won't miss the first episode. It drops on Thursday, May 23rd. Again, that's Proof, Proof, from America's Test Kitchen. Cheers.
Subscribe.